4 into d squared. So I'm going to type here the value of pi 3.14 and divided by 4. So this is going to be pi by 4, and I'm going to make this thing as into d square as well. So I'm just having a bracket here, and then I'm multiplying it by d square. So this is the d, and if you want to have a square, then you can actually hold shift and press 6. You will get this thing. Then after press 2, so that you can see here it's actually having this thing as a squared. So I'm again putting the brackets so that things are going to be more easier. Now pressing enter, and you can see here the 8 mm rod has been having the area of 50.24 mm square, and then you can actually click and drag it. And if you don't want to click and drag, I'm undoing it, Ctrl+Z, just double click here, and you can see all the areas has been calculated. So 8 mm rod is having 50.24 as area, 10 mm 78, 12, and so on. So this is how we can actually calculate the areas. So this is how you can actually use the Excel. If you want to know what is the input, and if you want to know what are the outputs, you can actually have coloring as well. So I'm making the headings in one of the color, like let us say I'm having heading this color, make this thing as this color. This is actually my input, so I'm making input actually in terms of blue color. And let us say I need output also in terms of certain colors, so I'm just selecting it. And output color, let us say this thing. Again, I want this thing as my input color, so making this thing here and getting back to this thing in another color, like kind of thing. So this is how I can make my Excel sheet simple. And if you want to calculate, if you want to have another formulas in the Excel as well, how we can use as a civil engineer. I think you people know about quantity survey part. If you want to know the volume of concrete of footing, volume of concrete of column, volume of concrete of any structural element or wall, if you want to know how to calculate number of bricks, you can actually use again this Excel. So how exactly we can use that thing, let us see. So let us think that I'm having a footing of 4 feet by 4 feet, and I'm having its depth as, let us say, 15 inches. Okay, now I'm saying what are the units it is in and what exactly is the value. So I'm saying this thing is my length, and I'm saying by clicking here that this thing is actually in terms of feet. So I'm putting it to be FTs for the short key of feet. Now the next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to write here B, and that B is again actually in terms of feet. So getting back to my bracket, and then I'm writing this thing as my thickness, that's capital D, and then I'm saying this thing is actually in terms of inches, INCH. Now after saying all these things, what I want is I want to calculate the volume. So calculating the volume actually in terms of, let us say, cubic feet CFT, and later on you can actually convert that thing in you know, cement, sand, and quartz aggregate. If you want to know how exactly we will do all these things, you can actually ask me in the comment sections. However, for this tutorial I want to just multiply this volume and calculate area of shuttering as well. So I'm writing area of shuttering as AOS. Now what I'm going to do is for the volume, I think you people know the formula for the volume is length into breadth into height. So I'm going to put this thing, so is equal to, and this is my length, multiply by breadth and multiply by depth. But the depth what I'm going to take here is actually in terms of inches, so I want that to convert in terms of feet. How do you convert inches in terms of feet? Obviously by dividing it by 12. So when I'm doing this, you can see how I got the volume. The very nice part about the Excel is whenever you want to change anything anytime, like I want to make this thing as 5 feet by 5 feet as my footing, you can see here how the volume is getting changed. So this is a very nice part. Like let's say I don't want it to be 8 mm, I want it to be 6 mm. Press enter here, you can see here how area of shutter is changing. Let's say I want it to be 6 inches wall, and you can see here for 6 inches 152 is in terms of mm. So whenever you want to change anything, you can actually change that thing, and obviously you will get the answers immediately. So now let us go ahead and area of shuttering. I was discussing about that. So area of shuttering, whatever we are calculating, it is going to be calculated which is surrounding the footing. Usually we'll be having the formula perimeter multiplied by its depth. So perimeter is 2 into L plus B, obviously, so I'm multiplying it 2 into, and I'm opening the bracket, and L is my this part plus B is my this part, and I'm then closing the bracket. And then that I'm going to multiply it by the thickness as well. So 2 into plus B is my perimeter multiplying by thickness, and this thickness is actually in terms of inches. I'm going to make this thing in terms of feet again, so divided by what is that, inches, right? Yeah, 12. So this is how you can actually convert the things. So when I'm pressing enter, you can see here even I got the area of shuttering as well. This area of shuttering what I got actually is in terms of SFT, square fit. So I'm writing it here, SFT, closing the bracket and then pressing enter again. Now you can see here everything I got, and these are actually the inputs I have to give. So I'm just making this thing that's my input color, and these are actually my output color, so I'm making this thing as my output color as well. So if you want to have different kind of footings, like I'm just clicking it and dragging it, you can see here how I got different kind of values. If you want to have another footings, I can put it to be 4 feet by 4 feet, and I can put this thing as my 4.5 by 4.5. I can put a rectangular footing as well, like 3.5 by, let us say, 4.5. And then you can see whenever I'm putting any values, you can see how the things are getting changed beside volume and area of shuttering. So to calculate again and again, just for once you have to put the formula, and that's pretty much about it. Now I'm putting another thing, and yeah, the last thing I want to show you is actually the sum part. So I'm going to put here is equal to sum bracket open, and I'm going to make this thing completely select, click and drag, bracket close, press enter, and you can see here how I got the volume, the total of it. And then I can do the same thing for here also, is equal to sum bracket open, and I'm going to select everything, bracket close, and then click. So area of shuttering total you got, and these are actually the values which is total. So I can put that thing in the yellow color. So that is how easy and simple it is. I want to show you last tip, which is if statement. Like if someone is asking you whether the slab is 1 slab or 2 slab, usually you judge it by alpha by X ratio. Now here we go. I am going to again show you how the things are going to be. I'm going to put here Ly, and I'm going to put here Lx. Let's use my longer direction and shorter direction. Now I'm going to put here 6, and I'm going to put here, let us say, 4. Now please judge by yourself what is the kind of slab is going to be. Obviously it's going to be 2 slab, because otherwise 6 by 4 is going to be 3 by 2, and it's going to be 1.5. Now let us see how we can judge that thing. So kind of slab, so type I'm writing, type of slab I can write, but however, let us see, is equal to if statement I'm going to use. Now first of all, condition, so this divided by this value is going to be lesser than 2, then it's going to be my 2 slab. So I'm putting comma here. If I want to write something, just put that inverted commas, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write here as 2 slab, so TWS. And if it is 1 slab, then obviously the things are going to be true. So comma, and again I'm going to put the inverted commas, and then I'm saying here OWS. And that's done. I'm just closing the bracket and pressing enter, and here we go, it's actually 2 slab. Well, let us make this thing as 1 slab. So I'm putting here like 7, and I'm putting here to be 2, and you can see here how the things are changing automatically. So if a statement can be used in this way in order to find 1 slab and 2 slab. Still, you can do a lot more. Just excel in Excel so that you can understand how the things can be worked so fast and immediately. For this tutorial, I think that's pretty much about it. And if you want to have any other tutorial like this, like AutoCAD, Revit, anything which is very, very important to you, facing a lot of problem, you can actually ask me. Until that, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.